Hey there, everybody. How's it going? This is Penny Schachter. I heard that today's discussion is Avas Yisrael. At least that's what I heard from a little birdie. So, that is probably the best topic in the whole world. And it also is, I think, more easy and simple than we think. I'll tell you why. We say every day, ooh, my chair is flying, my chair. Ooh! Okay, now we're back. We say, V'ahavta Hashem Elokecha b'chol lavav, b'chol nafsha, b'chol miyadecha. You should love God with all your heart and soul and your possessions. My question was very simple. How could God ask me to do something that maybe I don't feel? You can't command me to feel. What if I don't? Right? What if I don't right now? Which is an interesting question in itself to think about. Can we say that? Like, I don't love God right now. That's a fascinating question. The answer that I came up with, which I asked my Rebbe, and he said it's the shot, is that God's not asking me to love him. Because the truth is, I already do love him. It's a part and parcel of my soul. I'm a piece of God. I'm connected with him. I'm bound to him. So I already love him. The mission and the quest of life is to find the things that have blocked me from the love that I already have inside myself. To uncover the garbage and the self-judgments and negative self-beliefs and everything like that's standing over the love that's already inside me. And it's the same thing with Avos Yisrael. We already love everyone. It sounds kind of like, well, we already love everyone, but it's true. How come everyone loves children? You can't not love a child. Why? Because even when they annoy you, you realize that they're children. They don't always know what they're doing. They're 5 years old, so they're screaming at you and they're sad and they're crying and they're calling you names. It's because you know so clearly that they just don't know what they're doing. They're kids. But adults are the same way. We're scarier than children. Because kids can't hurt us. And we never have to feel like how our reality or our choices are being questioned, because they're just kids. They don't know anything. But then when an adult does that, then I get angry. Why? Because he's threatening me, because he is an adult. So if he thinks negatively of me, that might mean something. So I have to protect myself. And we make judgments, and we have, again, negative self-beliefs about ourselves and about people. But really underneath it all, we really do love everyone. We really do love every Jew. It's already there. It's already in us, which is so much easier, because you can't create love. You can. But it's so much easier than that, to realize that we already do love everyone. So what do we have to do? Life, the mission is to find what's blocking that. What's clouding my eyes when I look at another person who's different than me? What are the judgments that I'm making on them? What are the false assumptions that I'm making of them? What are the expectations that I have of them, that I'm failing in myself, so I resent in them? And to me, that's all of living. I realize we already love everyone. We already love every Jew. So what's blocking me from that? And that's the work. That's the work that we have to do, that we can do. We don't have to if we don't choose to. But it's a choice. So I think if we walk away from this, realizing that I already love that person, I just have to figure out what is clouding my eyes. What wrong pair of glasses am I wearing when I look at this person? Maybe I look at what they're doing and it looks different than me, and so I'm afraid that maybe I'm doing something wrong. And I have to make myself right. Because we think if they're right and they're doing something that I'm not doing, then maybe I have to do that too. So then we put them down so that we don't have to look at ourselves, but we don't realize that everybody's different. And we don't have to have that judgment and expectation. We can love them and accept them for what they're doing, and it doesn't have to mean that I have to change what I'm doing. It's a much better way of living. It's really the only way to live in peace. It's the only way to really live, not having to walk around being afraid of what I look like, what I sound like, what I wear, where do I go to shul, all these things. If we're not secure in who we are, to realize that what's true for me doesn't have to be true for somebody else, and vice versa, then I'm always going to be walking around in fear and protecting myself. But once we can let that go and see where the fears are, where the expectations are, where the judgments are, and we can let that go, we can actually start to love other people and love ourselves. So We're all so beautiful. You look at a child, they're all so beautiful. They can't hurt us. That's why. Can't threaten us. Just think about that the next time you see someone who gets you angry, you know? Or even someone who's doing something wrong. Like really, they're doing something wrong to you. You realize that right now, it's just like a kid. This is the way their defense mechanism goes. And although you don't have to subscribe to that, and sometimes you have to put up boundaries, and sometimes you have to not hang out with those people, but to understand that they're not bad, they're not evil. This is just where their defense mechanism kicks in. And we all have our own defense mechanisms where our things get triggered, and then we act like that. But we know that we're just trying to do our best, and we really expect and hope from others that they'll accept us for who we are, and that I have my own flaws and times when mine comes out. Someone told me the most incredible line. He said, don't judge other people because they sin differently than you. It's the best line. And the other line is, he who has never sinned can throw the first stone. Judgments cloud the love that's already there. Expectations, fear, they cloud the love that's already inside of myself, to God and to every Jew and to everybody. This is the teaching. Soak it in, because this is it. This is the pathway. This is literally the pathway to love and to freedom and peace and joy and a life free of constant self-checking ourselves and being afraid that we're not showing the right person. I have to show something to somebody else. I need to be a certain way around these people or those people. And you can do it. I have to realize, like, do I want to constantly be in fear? Do I want to live with these, with these judgments and the holier than thou and the self-righteousness? It feels good for a few seconds, but it's very heavy to carry. And it gets very lonely to always be judging everyone and to be so self-righteous. We put ourselves in a box. And we have a few people in our little box, and we're it. It's very lonely. It's very heavy. It's very tiring. Always on the lookout. Judging. We don't really get to live. We don't really get to experience. We don't really get to love. We see someone for the first time, and before we even say anything to them, we're subconsciously being like, oh, he wears that. Oh, his hair's like that. Oh, he wears that kind of yarmulke. Oh, she dresses like that. Oh, that's not safe. And we've already formed an opinion of who we think they are, and they might be our potential future best friend, but we're not going to see it. So, this is it, everybody. Mwah.